Hey Tawna, this is Trisha, Logan's aunt.
Hi, who's Gerald Mayberry? That's the name coming up under your call.
Oh, I don't know why it says, I'm on Sean's phone. My phone's been acting up.
Oh, gotcha.
It's our old boss. It's a joint line or whatever.
Oh, okay. Well, so Logan is being asked to move from the facility, which I think I said it in the message. It's really rare to have a child be removed from a residential facility. They just feel he's not engaging and is not motivated to, and everything they've tried, they feel is not working. And then because of the physical violence he's had, they're fearful of other children's safety there. Does that just sound totally weird to you?
It definitely does. My nephew's never like gotten in trouble before for fighting at schools or.
Yeah, he's done some things at this place. So I think we have your approved home study, we can't even touch court regarding. We can't even go to court stating, recommending you be the placement. We have to have the approved ICPC home study.
Okay. I forgot her name. The other supervisor. I was trying to call you first, and then I think you were probably busy or something. Did the other lady talk to you that I talked to today? I forgot her name. Hello? Hey, did you meet me or something? Hello? Hey, I don't know what just happened. So, did the other lady, I forgot her name, but the other supervisor I talked to, did she talk or tell you what we talked about or whatever?
Are you talking about Heather?
Yeah, I think Heather.
Yeah, she let me know that you guys spoke and,
So I'm working with, her name's Elaine Blanco, and she kind of heard about my story, or about Logan's story, not my story. And, I'd let her know that there was a court date coming in July. And I ended up finding out we went to the same school program or whatever, so that was cool.
you and Heather?
No, Elaine Blanco, the person that was doing my home study.
Gotcha.
So that was kind of nice, and she's basically is like I contacted her and let her know what was going on and everything, and she said that she just needed like 2 more things that I guess like wasn't sent in, like, so I sent it to her like right away, like I don't know, 5 minutes after she asked me for it, and I think they're trying to like fast track it over to you guys. But I know it's got to get like gone through her supervisor. I just, my concern or whatever, I understand that, I understand that, with everything going on or whatever, what Heather was saying, but it's like, I think that Logan's just going through a lot, He's been through a lot in a very short amount of time, and I think that he probably is feeling trapped. And, I worry about his, like, outside of, what he's doing also, I worry about how this is going to affect him, like, psychologically when he gets older or whatever, like, because it's like he didn't have these types of problems, when he was with me and over here with family and stuff like that. Like, He's never had problems with fighting before. He's never gotten in, I don't think he's ever gotten in any fist fights prior to Provo. You know, the picture that everybody's getting, you know, painted of Logan is very different than, like, what I've experienced with him.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, like, I really, you know, she was saying that, you know, he was going to maybe be sent to, like, this other thing or whatever, or, you know, like, maybe a whole nother facility, and that's really scary to hear that, because, like, you know, the experience we've had so far with Provo, or, you know, Logan's had was, you know, he was in Provo, he was isolated for 2 weeks, didn't get to talk to anybody, you know, he didn't know I even knew how to find him, you know, that was our first conversation, how did you find me, and, and, you know, then, you know, it was like he was, you know, doing good there, and then come to find out his grades were not doing good, and he was declining. And then, you know, then they put him on the Respitol drug or whatever, and it's just like, I just feel like how much, and then, you know, he was supposed to talk to, we were supposed to have, like, a Zoom set up for him to say goodbye to his grandfather. And that was, like, one of my dad's last wishes, you know, and that got missed, and, like, Logan didn't even get to say goodbye to his grandpa. And so it's like, I just keep feeling like, you know, like, how much more can this kid take? And I understand that, you know, the way you guys are looking at it, he's fighting kids, you know. But the way I'm looking at it is he's frustrated, he's feels trapped, probably feels isolated, you know, like, you know, me and him weren't able to talk at all, you know, and I really don't understand how they ever said I was some sort of problem, because I've never not at any point told him not to be good there, or not to, I always tell him to be good and to do what they ask, and, you know,
sure.
And
yeah,
I just,
I have no doubt that you've always given him the message of being respectful. No doubt. I think the message that was hard for him was hearing that you were trying to get him out, which you were. You know, you were making every effort that you possibly can to try to get him out. And so, yeah, what I'm nervous about, though, so say we do get your home study pretty quickly. We go to court. If by any chance the judge allows him to go, because we know Mom's going to fight it, to your home, my fear is we have a kid entering his teens, and we're going to see more of these behaviors.
well, yeah, what teenager was innocent in their lifetime? I mean, well, I guess there's some. My little sister is like a Dungeons and Dragons nerd, but Logan wasn't like this,
no,
though.
I'm just nervous that he might be too much for you, but
he would never in a million years be too much for me. Never in a million years, ever. Like, that's not even a question, or, you know, not even a concern.
I'm very nervous about what Mom is going to say. So you want to make sure you talk to Chris. Chris is his name, right, Dad? So
yeah.
He can hop on and promote you. And
yeah.
An agreement.
Yeah, you know, I did talk to him, but from my understanding, like, I don't know if he was let know in the last court case or how that even goes, but it sounded to me like he didn't know about it or didn't keep up to date on it, or
yeah.
So, like,
I
if there is a thing, you know, in Logan's Logan's behalf, like he really needs to be notified somehow. I don't know how it works, but that would be really helpful, because if he's not notified, or gets notified an hour before, he had sent me a message. I don't know who he was speaking with, but it was like
I don't know who his attorney is.
No, I mean, he had sent me a text message of somebody he was talking to on your guys' end, I think. It didn't show a phone number or anything, but it was basically saying, like, he might get, like, a notification, like, an hour ahead of time, because he was asking about the Zoom link to be a part of that. And he's more than...
I just want you to know we are looking at 2 facilities for him right now.
And what's that?
We're looking at another one in... Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I just, you cut out. Okay. You didn't say what it was. I was just waiting.
No, No, we have a facility in Utah we're looking at, and then we have a facility here in Boise that wasn't open before.
What are those called? Or what kind of program is that?
They're very similar to where he's at Provo. It's Copper Hills and Patriot Center.
Copper Hill?
Copper Hills.
Okay. And like something
and
called...
The other one is Patriot Center.
So,
that's here in Idaho.
So what? It's going to be like the same situation where he's not allowed to call out and all that?
Yeah, all of them have rules about contact out, and they have to have people on their calling list, which you've always been on for Provo. So, yeah, they all have...
Yeah, but Provo also
rules.
denied me conversational and said I was, like, causing problems, which, I just don't even... I've been nothing but nice to them. Like, I don't even understand.
Yeah.
Like, I understand the situation. And I know that a lot of this has to do with, after like 9 months or something like that, that's when they can start making decisions of like more permanency placement kind of stuff. But it's like, what did he went in like, 4 months ago, 5 months ago? Or how long has he been in custody? Like since March or May or something?
When did he come in?
I think it was like May. January, February, March, April, May, June, April. It was like either April or May. March.
We've had him since March, yeah.
February, March, April,
Mid-March.
May, June. And now we're into, going to be, so only 4 months. So in 4 months, like, he's gone to 3 different foster homes, and was having problems there. And then he ended up going to Provo Canyon, got cut all contact of his family at some point. And I just, I think you're just seeing, like, the repercussions to this type of, like, behavior therapy, Provo Canyon, he gets 2 hours of therapy from, subcontractor, licensed people, whatever, every, 2 hours, like, every week. Like, that's not, I mean, we're talking about...
the individual plus the group.
Right, but it's more like dialectical behavior therapy, which is like, revoking if he's bad, isolation if he's bad, correction, and then having to earn, like, rights to go outside, rights to play, rights to do anything.
And that's how it will be at Patriot Center in Copper Hills as well.
So I guess all I'm saying is if we're seeing, like, it's not working for him and it's just making him worse and he's becoming more violent and more upset and more whatever, like, isn't that, like, enough indication to be like, okay, like, why can't he go to, like, a therapeutic one where people are nice, or, like, an art camp or a band camp or something nice, where it's more sweet and empathetic,
We don't have therapeutic foster homes at this time. We're hoping to have a contract by the fall, but we used to have an agency here, and they actually left the state, and so we don't have a therapeutic foster home contract. And we don't have foster parents willing to take on a kid with behaviors, and we have
I was
facilities.
like, I was, like, more than willing to, like, move down there before, and then it turned into, like, I was going to get an apartment there, if that solved the problem. Actually, I was kind of a little bit mad when I found out it was going to Utah, because I actually really liked Boise, Idaho a lot better than Utah. Like, it was a lot cooler and cleaner and happier feeling than Utah.
Ooh, it's not cooler this week.
No, I meant, like, cooler, like, the vibe was cooler.
Oh, gotcha.
Like, and then I was like, and then I went to Utah, and it was kind of depressing feeling out there, and so I was like, man, I wish I could just, like, I'd be more than happy to get an apartment down there or whatever, and then, it was like it was going to send here, and then now it's like he's going to be stuck in there in more dialectical behavior therapy for, like, 9 months. If if, like, people don't vouch for him or, you know, help him, like, not have to be going through this. Like, he's just been through so much.
And Trisha, I fully agree with you. The Logan we know is not the Logan you know. Because we got Logan after a very traumatic pulling him into foster care, sticking him with a bunch of kids in a group home. I get it. I hear ya. But the behaviors we're seeing are meriting where he's at. And there's nothing we can do to get him with you until we get your home study.
Well, when I was talking to the other person, Heather, it sounded like even if it got sent tomorrow, like, it doesn't even matter. Like, that's the way it seemed, you know? Like, she was just like, well, it can take 60 to 90 days, and, you know, well, you know, we're just going to send him to another program, or, you know, or, like, last time we talked, there, you were like, you know, even if you get the home study sent here, the judge wants him to finish this program. So it's like...
And now he's being kicked out of this program. So, again, we're looking at those two places, Copper Hills and Patriot Center. I personally, years ago, I didn't like Patriot Center. I've seen them do a lot of great things in the past 3-4 years, and done really good work with kids. I know Heather's preference is to keep him in Utah so he can be close to mom. And then, of course, waiting for your home study to come through so that the judge can make the decision if he can go to you or not.
Okay. Well, I know that Elaine is working her butt off right now to get it sent to you guys as soon as possible.
Great.
My hope would be that it could be sent to you guys within the week, but I don't know.
That would be amazing.
I think that it's possible, and I think that...
I mean, if that were the case, we would end up writing an affidavit to the court stating he was kicked out of Provo. We have these options, which would be Provo or Copper Hills or Patriot Center. We just found out he was accepted to Patriot Center, but the concern is we bring him all the way back to Boise. And we have this approved home study for Aunt Trisha, who has been his foster parent in the past, and then we're still waiting for the ICPC on parent in Utah. And then make the recommendation. We're recommending that he either be placed with Trisha, or he go to this facility, or he placed with mom, and it's going to be up to the judge.
Okay. Well, I talked to some people, and I found a really good, like I was trying to tell...
Personally, and I think Rosemary probably feels the same way, we want to see how he does with you. I'm worried about the fight mom's going to put up for it, though.
I know how he's going to do with me, because he lived with me before for a whole entire year.
Because we could get there and say, hey, we want him to go to Aunt, and judge would say no because mom doesn't want it, which is why we'll need Chris to be there, too.
Isn't it just easily said that, you know, instead of putting a child...
Are you there, Trisha?
Oh, yeah, sorry, I muted you. I don't know why that keeps happening. Isn't it easily just said, like, a child, you know, like, isn't, like, CPS's, like, motto or, you know, end game or goal plan to, like, keep the family together regardless, you know, instead of the kids going into, like, system to system to system? You know, isn't that, like, just an easy argument to say, like, hey, we know mom doesn't want...
It gets complicated, though, when parents don't support it, when we have to cross state lines. All of those become complicating factors, and now we're working 3 different states here: Idaho, Utah, and Washington.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't have any problem. Like I was telling Heather, like, I already, like, talked to some people and stuff because I didn't want, you know, them to have any type of concerns with, you know, Logan's behavior, if I can handle it or not. And so I already found, like, a specialist in Seattle that deals with childhood trauma. She's saved in my email.
How far do you live from Seattle?
It's like an hour away, but she's the best, so that's what I've been told.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, I'm just kind of reaching out to her, and I don't really know how to pay her yet because I don't know what's going on, but I reached out to her, you know, and she said she...
She'll have Medicaid.
Well, I don't know if she'll,
See if he takes United States.
I don't know if she would or not, but it's okay either way. If I just want to do my due diligence to be like, hey, not only like am I gonna like I can't just say like, oh, I'll get him counseling, like I want to basically show that I'm already doing my due diligence, that I got a plan set up for transfer, that so it's a smooth transfer and he has therapy like right away, you know um I feel really bad about what's going on because, before my sister took him to Utah, like he tried to run away to my house and he was hiding behind a dumpster and calling me to pick him up, and I had to cry and tell him that I couldn't because it was illegal. And he told me he didn't want to go to Utah. And then he gets taken and he's like, "You're going to get me out, right?" And I go, "Yeah, yeah, of course." He's like, "Just like last time." And I said, "Of course, I'll always do that for you. Don't worry." And then, I've tried to encourage him and say, "Hey, buddy, I'm still working on it," but just kind of letting him know, or you know, letting him know or be aware that, like, I am doing something on this end, that, there's hope, and just to be good in the meantime and do the work that he needs to do. I have told him that, his behavior is really important.
Good.
In being able to, like, in the judge's decisions and stuff like that. But at the same point in time, at some point, this whole process and everything that's happened, I feel like that could also be traumatizing, because I encourage him and I'm like, "Hey, buddy, be good and just know I love you." And then I don't know, I don't know how the relationship is with mom, but I do know that, she said, "I'm glad he's in jail," or "Yeah, he's going to be a menace. Look, he's fighting," or "I wanted to send him to military school and this is all his fault, his behaviors." And so I just hope that she's not saying those types of things to him, or making him, like, alienated or ostracized, because I just feel like, like, I can't imagine, like, me telling him, "Hey, buddy, like, I'm working." And I've told him, like I told you, like, I don't know how long it's going to be, but, like, I'm still doing everything I can. It takes a little while. I can't tell you a significant date, but, I still am doing everything I'm supposed to do. And he's told me, "I don't care if it's a month or 2 months, as long as I know that you're helping me, it gives me hope." And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, of course." And then I get cut all contact. And I'm like,
have they put you back in contact with him?
no, that's why I was calling you, because I was seeing if you had gotten a hold of anybody, or was it, because I thought you had to do that.
I thought.
Like, remember you were saying, like last Friday or something, that you were going to try to see if we could or not.
So nothing has happened yet?
No, I mean, they never reached out to me in the first place. They didn't even tell me that I wasn't allowed to talk to them. And I was asking them, "Is everything okay?"
Frustrating. Send an email right now.
You know, my thought was, like, if he was put in there, or, like, when they cut contact, did he know that it was because of the rules or whatever they felt on their end, or did he think that I just stopped calling? Did he think that I just abandoned him? Did he not get any of my letters I sent for them to, like, infiltrate their program? Like, and I just hope that somebody told him that I didn't just abandon him. Because that would probably make him, like, really dressed, too. Like, thinking, like, where did she go? Why is she not contacting me anymore? Like, did she forget about me? Like, am I stuck here forever? You know?
Sorry.
So, I mean, yeah, like, I wish you guys would have gotten to see Logan before. And, I know you guys went to school for social services just like I did, so I'm sure you took tons of child psychology, and know that, underneath it all, like, there is a reason for all this, like, why he's acting like that, and he's not like this, and I can't even express it enough. Like, Logan is an everyday kid. He beatboxes, he plays with other kids just fine, like, takes the dog out, takes the trash out. Like, he is not this kid that you guys have all seen at all. He even does his homework all on his own, sits in the computer, engages, talks to his teacher. His teacher still says, like, he was her favorite, you know, like, he liked school. So, I mean, I don't know if, like, his grades said any different, you know, and maybe I was misinformed from what he was telling me or whatever, but even then, you know, like, he was living from place to place to place during that time, you know, his last quarter of school. So, you know, that's another thing, you know, he was going from this house to that house, and that's when, you know, when the guy my sister was dating was being pretty mean to him. And, like, he had a room above a washer, like, in the ceiling. And so his living situation wasn't the greatest. So that would, you know, make a lot of sense of why the homework wasn't so great even.
Yeah.
So I just...
Yeah, that would probably also, I mean, right now he's just not motivated to do his schoolwork. He's getting some F's, I think a C and a D. And his response is, it's just too hard.
Yeah.
So he's just lacking motivation across the board. Okay, I sent an email to Brittany.
Okay.
Where Patriot Center has accepted him, but that's not till mid-July. And then we're still waiting to hear from Copper Hills. It sounds like Copper Hills is the preference because it is in Utah, close to Mom. But we do have the option of Patriot Center if we need it. And if we get that home study, we can submit all the options to the judge.
Okay. So is the court hearing the same as before, or are they going to move it up? Since it's
Nothing
like...
has changed with court because there have been no recommendations made.
So...
Yet because we don't have your home study yet. We don't have... we're still waiting to hear from Copper Hills. All we have right now is that he has to leave. He's being kicked out of Provo.
Oh, okay. Oh, so, like, you guys might have to, like, figure something out in between? Like, until the court hearing?
So we currently have a bed available at Patriot Center. We're waiting to hear from Copper Hills. And then we will have to get that approved home study and then present those options to the judge.
Okay. Well, I just, I really hope that, you know, people can see through all of this, that Logan is good, and I know he's not showing you guys that, but I'm telling you, if you give the kid a chance, he is fucking good. Like, I know it. Like, because I see it, you know, like, when we're together, like, he beatboxes, does karaoke, he's just a normal kid, you know, like, this is just crazy, and the reason I've been pushing so hard, you know, is just because, you know, he really does, you know, I know he was saying, like, oh, she's gonna get me out anyway, but the reason he said that is because we have an understanding with each other and a mutual respect, and a mutual love, you know, where it's, you know, not biased, not, you know, whatever. It doesn't come with stipulations, and he knows that he can rely on me, and I don't want him to think that I'm a liar, you know.
Right.
And I want him to know that I am there for him, and I do care about him, and we'll get him therapy, and whatever the court wants me to do, I will do above and beyond and follow whatever they need me to do here, you know, if they will allow it. Even if we had to work something out where, like, I could drive down to Utah, like, once a month to alleviate some of the visitation thing, and then maybe she could do, like, a Zoom or something in between, like, I would be willing to do that. If that would help with the whole visitation thing. Like, I don't want my sister to not have a relationship with her son. I want it to be healthy, you know, and Logan to be safe and everything, but, you know, I'm more than happy to drive all the way down to Utah and have someone facilitate, or Idaho, since you guys have custody of him still, or wherever, and facilitate any type of visitation or whatever I need to do. Like, I'm cool with that. I can't do it every week, but I can do it once a month for sure.
Wow, that's great.
So.
All right. I sent that email to Brittany and Rosemarie for that phone call. I hope that will start soon. I'm sorry it still hasn't started. And then we'll wait to see what Copper Hills said, and we'll wait and see if we can get that home study as soon as possible.
Okay, you said Copper Hill or what's the other one again?
Copper Hills, I think, is in West Jordan, Utah.
Okay.
Somewhere around Salt Lake. The other one is Patriot Center, and that is in Emmett, Idaho.
Okay, and then, like, are they going to isolate him for 2 weeks like they did at the other one? Do they do that?
As in not have communication?
Yeah.
So, I don't know, because they don't isolate from the parents. So I'm hoping they don't isolate from family either. But I know for sure, like, when we have...
Well, my sister said she wasn't able to talk to him for the 2 weeks either.
That doesn't make sense. That just causes more trauma.
Well, that's what, I don't know, that's what she told me.
From those facilities.
Okay.
We have a kid that just went to Copper Hills, and she was able to speak to her parents right away.
Okay. All right.
We'll find out more.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. We'll see what we can get going. Thanks, Trisha.
All right, thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so I just want to be very clear. That was the nicest that lady's ever in her entire life been to me. She usually patronizes me, or I've cried and she talks shit to me, basically. So, yeah, it's weird how all of a sudden she's trying to act sweet. I don't know if someone contacted them and they're trying to act like they care all of a sudden, but they don't care, and they've been super mean to my nephew, and, like, I really feel like they've had, like, some sort of problem with him. So, yeah, that's where we're at.